WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 11.
There has been another deadly plane crash in the United States, this time a mid-air collision near an airport in southern Arizona. It's our top story at 11. Thank you for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer. Sherry Jones has the night off. 2 people are dead tonight after the mid-air crash at the Marana Regional Airport on the outskirts of Tucson. It happened around 8:30 this morning. The 2 planes that collided were both smaller fixed-wing single-engine planes. One of the planes was able to land while the other hit the ground near a runway and caught fire. There were 2 people on board each plane, and both of the victims were on the same aircraft. The 2 people on the other plane were not seriously hurt.
And when you're going into an untowered airport like that, it's the pilot's responsibility to plan ahead, figure out which way is the wind blowing, what's the best runway to pick from, and then also to determine what's everybody else doing before I get there.
The Cessna model is a 4-seat single-engine plane. The Lancer is a 2-seat kit plane, meaning it was a homemade aircraft. Stay with 6 News. We'll update you when we learn more about what caused this crash. Well, the Chief Justice of the Michigan Supreme Court announced today she will step down from that position by the end of April. Justice Elizabeth Clement released a statement today saying she had notified the governor about her intent to step down. She was appointed to the Supreme Court in 2017 before being re-elected to a full term the following year and has been Chief Justice since 2022. Justice Clement did not give a reason for her decision to depart. The governor will now appoint someone to fill her seat until voters can pick a new justice in the 2026 election. Clement is one of only 2 state Supreme Court justices aligned with the Republican Party. The new Trump administration is trying to fast-track approval for the controversial Line 5 pipeline. Under an executive order from the White House, the Army Corps of Engineers has added the Line 5 tunnel to a short list of projects for emergency permit status. President Donald Trump declared an energy emergency to increase fossil fuel production, even though the United States produces more fossil fuels now than any nation in history. Line 5 is owned by the Canadian company Enbridge Energy, and while the twin pipelines begin and end in Canada, they cross several U.S. states, including Michigan. They rest on the lake bed below the Straits of Mackinac, where they have been damaged several times over the past 60 years by passing ships. The proposed project would construct a tunnel through the bedrock below the straits, connecting the 2 peninsulas to house the pipelines. Supporters say this will reduce the risk of a catastrophic oil spill on the Great Lakes, but opponents argue that isn't good enough and are trying to shut down Line 5 completely. According to our media partners at MLive, this emergency permit status would speed up the environmental review status, which is not scheduled to finish until 2026. Speaking of legal battles, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel joined a coalition of 19 AGs around the country, challenging the White House order suspending the U.S. Refugee Resettlement Program. The president suspended that program, which helps resettle refugees in the U.S., on his first day in office, saying he would only restart it if doing so would serve the interests of the United States. The AGs who filed this lawsuit claim this contradicts federal law. They add it will be detrimental to the economy. Nessel points out, in Michigan alone, refugees paid more than $200 million in state and local taxes in 2022 and contributed nearly $2 billion to the state's economy. Crime Stoppers works because of your tips, and tonight police are on the lookout for 2 wanted fugitives for crimes in Lansing. Take a look and see if you have the information they need.
First up this week, Lansing police are searching for this man, 46-year-old Demario Ross. He's wanted on a warrant for assault in the capital city. Ross is 5'10" and weighs about 170 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. Our other fugitive this week is Jeffrey Clark, who is wanted in the city of Lansing on a drug offense. Clark is 60 years old, stands 6 feet tall, and weighs 165 pounds. He has blonde hair and hazel eyes.
If you know anything that can help police find those men, call Crime Stoppers at 517-483-STOP. Your information could make you eligible for a cash reward of up to $1,000. And remember, you don't have to leave your name to leave a tip. President Donald Trump doubled down today on blaming Ukraine and its leaders for the conflict in their country, calling President Volodymyr Zelensky a dictator. As Erica Brown reports tonight, Zelensky refuted claims about his motives and Ukraine's role in the war.
President Trump continued his war of words with Volodymyr Zelensky hours after calling the Ukrainian president a dictator.
A modestly successful comedian, President Zelensky talked the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into a war that basically couldn't be won.
Trump accused Zelensky of mismanaging U.S. aid to Ukraine amid the country's 3-year war with Russia.
Biden never tried. Europe has failed to bring peace, and Zelensky probably wants to keep the gravy train going.
A senior White House official tells CBS News the president's comments are in response to Zelensky, saying President Trump is living in a disinformation bubble. Here in Washington, the Trump administration is pushing a sweeping government overhaul to reduce what they say is wasteful government spending through the Department of Government Efficiency.
We're thinking about giving 20% back to the American citizens and 20% down to pay back debt.
Elon Musk has got to go. On Wednesday, protesters and congressional Democrats rallied outside the Department of Health and Human Services in support of thousands of federal workers who were let go.
We're looking for a few good Republicans to come over and join the Democrats and overturn this radical assault.
So far, most Republican lawmakers say the cuts at HHS and in many other federal agencies are needed.
Our national debt has become a national security issue, and we understand that we're going to have to make some changes.
CBS News has learned more than 6,000 IRS workers are expected to be terminated by the end of the week. About 3,500 of them are expected to be probationary hires who, quote, were not deemed as critical to tax filing season. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Satellite and radar continues to show just a couple of light snow showers occurring across the area. As of right now, they are mainly south of I-96, but since our temperatures have been so chilly across the area in the past few days, anything that falls is already starting to stick to the ground. The snow showers that we are currently seeing, all thanks to a very weak area of low pressure currently centered off to our south. Again, this system doesn't really have a whole lot of moisture associated with it, and you'll notice that on satellite and radar. Not a very potent or large system that we are dealing with, so only a very light dusting of snow in the forecast. We are dry at this time over towards the capital, but light snow showers will begin to move in within the next half hour to an hour here. Winds currently at 5 miles per hour out of the west, dropping our feels-like temperatures right back down into the single digits. At this time, roads are still fine and clear over in Grand Ledge. We're at 16 degrees for our current and feels-like temperature. That peak wind gust only at 11 miles per hour. In Jackson, if you look really closely, you can start to see some of that light snow already accumulating on the roads and the reduction in visibility in the background as well. Both of these things going to be a very slight concern as we move throughout the rest of the night, but I'm not anticipating any significant travel impacts for our area. We're at 15 degrees right now over in Jackson. Notice in Hillsdale, very similar with that light snow already accumulating on the roads. Temperatures at 15 degrees after a high of 18, and that peak wind gust only at 10 miles per hour. On Precision Cast, you'll notice these light snow showers continuing as we go throughout the rest of the night. I really think by the time we hit 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, that's when this snow is eventually going to track off to our east, leaving us with dry and cloudy conditions as we go throughout the day by then. We'll hold on to that dry weather in time for our Friday as a high pressure system begins to make its way into the Midwest. And even though it's not going to be giving us a whole lot in the way of sunshine, there's a lot of dry weather in our forecast. In fact, aside from the chance for snow that we have across the area today, we're going to be very hard pressed to find any significant signs of accumulating snow as we go throughout the next several days. There is a very weak system that will bring us more of a rain and snow mix on Monday, because not only are we going to be dry, but at that time, temperatures are going to be trending above average in the upper 30s across the area. As we go throughout the rest of the night and these snow showers continue, we'll drop down to an overnight low near 10 degrees. Wind's still going to be incredibly light, but those wind chill temperatures will drop down into these single digits. However, I do think for most of us, we will still remain on the positive side of things for our feels-like temperatures. Again, a few light snow showers as we start off our Thursday, otherwise dry and cloudy with highs in the low 20s. Highs in the upper 20s for Friday and Saturday, above freezing just in time for Sunday. So you're finally going to be able to go outside and maybe enjoy some of the snow we've been accumulating. Again, that rain and snow mix in the forecast for Monday. Other than that, our next best chance of snow the following weekend.
Okay, very doable conditions ahead, Kendall.
Yeah, much more pleasant than what we were seeing with the below zero wind chills.
Yeah, let's not do that again anytime soon.
Hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Coming up here on 6 News at 11, the Senate approved 2 more of President Trump's cabinet picks. We'll introduce you to them next. Thanks for watching. We'll be right back.